Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Google's New York office, it's the first office where engineering happens outside Mountain View, and it's the biggest office where engineering happens outside Mountain View.
It's the single largest sales office that Google has. We have probably upwards of 900 people in a building in Chelsea, New York, which happens to be the second largest footprint of any building in New York City.
We have yoga, we have Pilates.
I love massages, I'm a spa queen.
Let me mention the food.
The food here, by the way, is great.
We have a French lunch where we get together and we speak French. We have the great cafeterias.
There's any type of amazing cuisine, even better than some of the restaurants in New York.
You get
Hi, my name is Cynthia. I work in the Strategic Partnerships Development team at Google.
Hi, I'm Eric. I'm a system administrator at Google.
I'm Scotty. I work at Google. I'm from the Chicago suburbs.
My name is Randy Reyes. I grew up here in the San Francisco Bay Area, and I currently work at Google.
I remember when I was younger, I had 4 brothers, which it's not easy to be gay when you have 4 brothers because there's like so much masculinity in the house. I remember sitting in my bedroom when I was younger, laying on my bed and just feeling this dread in my chest, like knowing someday I have to tell my family or I have to tell somebody, and that alone was enough to terrify me.
I grew up at the dinner table hearing conversations about how gay people should die of AIDS, how gay people were less than, straight people, and it really caused me to not feel very safe at home, and at the same time I didn't feel very safe at school either.
Then I went to a public middle school and high school, and it was full of jocks, and I didn't know any gay people. I was the token computer nerd, so I got picked on all the time for that, much less being gay.
There were days where I was pretending to be sick just because I was too afraid to go to school.
I'm a transsexual woman. I grew up in rural Canada in really conservative surroundings, rather conservative family. Went to a pretty conservative school, and when I was growing up, it was all about conforming, fitting in, and doing what was expected of me. I was never even able to think about issues like my gender identity or sexual orientation until I grew up. In my high school, it was fit in.
I went to my senior prom, of course, with a girl, or 2 girls actually. It's a messed up story. And I remember after dropping them off, I drove to the side of the road in my car, and I started crying, just thinking about how screwed up everything is, trying to figure out what the hell I'm going to do with my life.
I didn't know what to do or who to reach out to, and I was scared of getting hurt, and I was so depressed that I was even thinking about hurting myself.
You're sitting in your house, it's a small town, you feel this magnetism, like you're never going to get out, you're never going to go anywhere. And it really draws you in. And you feel like there's no hope, that there's no one who will ever understand you. I'm a software engineer now at Google. And I just want to tell you straightforward that things get so much better.
For me, it got better when I got to college. When I got to college, I met many, many new people, and some of them I found out were gay, and they were quite happy, and a lot of them were quite successful.
Even when my family couldn't be there to support me because they didn't know that I was gay or I hadn't told them, or even after I came out and things were still kind of a little difficult with them, I knew that I could really rely on my friends, and that's where they became my family.
For me, things really started to change in the last 2 years of high school when we could choose the subjects that we wanted to study and choose how we wanted to spend our free time. So I could really start exploring the city, exploring different sides of myself.
When I went away to college, I was able to define who I was. There was no backstory. I really felt like I could come alive and be expressive.
And as you sort of grow older, as you leave